My niece texted me, "You're not welcome at my graduation. Stay home, loser." My sister added a thumbs up emoji. I replied, "Fine. Then I'm pulling my payments from your tuition." They laughed it off in the family group chat, tossing in memes and eye-roll emojis. But by morning, everything had flipped upside down. I'm not proud to share this story from my life, but here it is. It's about the moment my niece, Chloe, decided I wasn't good enough to celebrate her Ivy League milestone after I'd spent years footing the bill for her dream school, and how that one text set off a chain reaction none of us saw coming. Not her, not my sister, not even me. It was a random Tuesday, and I was at Costco, pushing a cart through the electronics aisle, eyeing a new TV I didn't need. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and I figured it was a work email or maybe a reminder to pick up dog food. Instead, it was the family group chat, the one we'd named Chloe's College Crew back when I first agreed to help with her tuition. I opened it, expecting some last-minute question about graduation logistics, maybe parking details or dinner plans. Instead, I got slammed with 7 words that didn't compute at first. "You're not welcome at my graduation. Stay home, loser." Chloe sent it like she was texting about pizza toppings. Right below, my sister, Rachel, dropped a thumbs-up emoji, like she was signing off on a grocery list. No explanation, no context, just that. I stood there, staring at my phone, the fluorescent lights buzzing above me. I waited for someone to say it was a prank, that Chloe's phone got hacked, anything. But the chat stayed dead silent. I left my cart by a stack of laptops and walked out of the store, my hands shaking. That night, I didn't respond. I just watched. A few hours later, the group chat lit up again like nothing had happened. Chloe posted a TikTok of a girl tossing a graduation cap with some caption about new beginnings. Rachel chimed in with, "So proud, baby." My brother-in-law, Mark, added, "No more stress, finally." It was like they'd erased me from the equation. I wasn't just uninvited. I was invisible. They forgot one thing, though. I'd been paying for Chloe's tuition at Dartmouth, $60,000 a year, every year, for 4 years. Room and board, textbooks, even her meal plan, all on my credit card. Rachel and Mark always said they'd chip in when things stabilized, but that never happened. Chloe promised she'd pay me back after she landed a big job post-graduation, but her promises were as empty as their bank accounts. I kept every receipt, every statement, every email confirmation. I wasn't just the uncle, I was the bank. So I typed back, "Fine. Then I'm pulling my payments from your tuition." I hit send and waited. Chloe replied with a gif of a cartoon character rolling its eyes. Rachel texted, "Don't be so sensitive, Tom." Mark threw in a laughing emoji, like I told a bad dad joke. They thought I was bluffing. I wasn't. I spent the next hour on the phone with Dartmouth's financial aid office. The account was in my name, every payment, every agreement. I explained I'd no longer be covering Chloe's tuition. The woman on the line was professional, didn't ask questions, just confirmed the account would be flagged for non-payment. By the next morning, Chloe's senior year was on hold. No tuition, no diploma. Simple as that. At 10:17 in the morning, my phone started blowing up. Chloe sent a single text. "What the hell did you do?" I didn't answer. Then came the flood. Rachel called me selfish and said I was ruining Chloe's future. Mark texted that this was why they didn't want me involved in the first place, as if paying for everything didn't count as involvement. They sent 12 messages in 5 minutes, each one more desperate than the last. Then, at 2:43 in the afternoon, Chloe tried a new angle. "If you don't fix this, I'll tell everyone what you did to Uncle Dave." I laughed out loud, not because it was funny, but because it was pathetic. Uncle Dave and I had a falling out over a business deal 10 years ago, hardly a scandal worth threatening me over. She was grasping at straws. I screenshotted the message, blocked her number, and poured myself a coffee. Chloe thought she could cut me out and keep my money. Rachel and Mark thought I'd cave if they ignored me long enough. They didn't realize I'd hit my limit. They wanted a graduation without me? Fine. Let them try to have one without my cash. The next few days were quieter than I expected. I braced for more drama, but it was like they'd gone into crisis mode. Chloe unfollowed me on Instagram and TikTok. Rachel sent a long text about how disappointed she was in my petty reaction and how I needed to think about family. Mark emailed me a link to a TED Talk about letting go of grudges. I didn't click it. They didn't beg, not yet. They still thought I'd crack. that I'd feel guilty, that I'd wake up at 3 in the morning in a panic and wire the tuition money back. But I didn't. I was done. A week later, Chloe posted a TikTok. She was sitting in her dorm room, teary-eyed, talking about how some people let jealousy ruin special moments. The caption read, "Not letting anyone dim my shine. Grad SZN." The comments were brutal. Someone wrote, "Wait, isn't your uncle paying for all this?" Another said, "Girl, you're bold calling him jealous." I didn't comment, but I saved the video. By then, word was spreading. My cousin Jenna texted me, asking if it was true that Chloe's tuition was frozen and that she might not graduate. I didn't respond, but the messages kept coming. Rachel's best friend, a woman I'd met twice, sent a vague, "Hey, heard there's some family drama. You okay?" Chloe's roommate DM'd me on Instagram, asking if I'd really pulled the plug. I ignored them all. 10 days before graduation, Rachel showed up at my apartment in Philly. I saw her through the peephole, standing there in a raincoat, clutching her purse like it was a lifeline. She knocked 3 times, waited, then knocked again. I didn't open the door. After 15 minutes, she texted, "We need to talk. This isn't fair to Chloe." I watched her walk back to her car, her shoulders slumped. I deleted the message and went back to my book. They'd spent years treating me like an ATM, always there when Rachel's freelance gigs dried up, when Mark's car repair shop tanked, when Chloe needed just a little more for study abroad. They called it family loyalty. I called it leeching. 2 days before the payment deadline, Chloe sent a Venmo request. $15,000. No message, just the number, like I was a scholarship fund she forgot to apply for. I declined it. 5 minutes later, another request came through, same amount. I declined that too and blocked her on Venmo. That's when it hit them, I think. They weren't getting the money back. That afternoon, Rachel emailed me. Subject line, "Please, Tom, let's fix this." She wrote that Chloe was stressed out of her mind, that the financial aid office was threatening to withhold her diploma, that I was breaking the family apart. She promised they'd pay me back after Chloe gets her job. I didn't reply. There was no job lined up, no plan, just the same empty promises I'd heard for years. The next morning, Chloe posted another TikTok. This time, it was an apology video, her face puffy, voice shaky. "I made a mistake," she said. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just got caught up in the moment." She didn't mention me by name, but everyone knew. The comments were relentless. "You uninvited the guy paying your tuition? Yikes. Bold move, Chloe. Apologize to your uncle, not us." By evening, the video had 20,000 views and was trending locally. I didn't comment, but I felt a flicker of something. Not satisfaction, but clarity. They couldn't spin this anymore. Then came the call that changed everything. It was from Dartmouth's financial aid office, not Chloe or Rachel. A polite woman named Karen said someone had tried to access the account, claiming to be my assistant, asking to reinstate the payments. When they asked for verification, the caller hung up. Karen just wanted to confirm I wasn't authorizing anything. I thanked her, my jaw tight. Rachel had tried to pull a fast one, thinking she could slide past me. I forwarded the email chain to Jenna, who'd been asking for updates, with a note. "This is who they are." The day before graduation, Chloe showed up at my door. I almost didn't recognize her through the peephole. Her hair was unwashed, her eyes red, her Dartmouth hoodie wrinkled. She was holding a grocery bag, the cheap plastic kind from a gas station. I didn't open the door right away. She spoke through it, her voice low. "Uncle Tom, please. I know you're there." I waited, then cracked the door open, just enough to see her face. She looked broken, not like the confident kid who'd called me a loser. She handed me the bag. Inside was a stack of papers, bank statements, payment confirmations, all with my name on them. She said Rachel had given them to her, claiming they'd helped out with the tuition. But when Chloe checked, she realized it was all me. Every dollar. Rachel had lied, saying she and Mark had covered half, that I was just helping out because I was single, childless, and had money to burn. Chloe didn't cry. She just stood there, waiting for me to say something. I asked, "Why should I care now?" She flinched, then said, "I didn't know. I thought they were paying too. I thought you were just being nice." It wasn't an apology, not really, but it was the closest she'd come. She said she was one payment away from losing her degree, that she'd applied for loans but they wouldn't come through in time. She asked for a loan, Not a gift. Just enough to clear the balance. I told her I'd think about it. She nodded and left without another word. That night, I didn't sleep. I kept thinking about the years I'd spent bailing them out. Rachel's emergencies, Mark's business ventures, Chloe's study abroad essentials. I'd done it because I thought that's what family did. But they'd taken it for granted, turned it into a game where I was the fool. At 3 a.m, I pulled out my laptop and drafted a loan agreement. $15,000, 3% interest, monthly payments starting 6 months after graduation, late fees if she missed a deadline. I included a clause. If she defaulted, I'd send the agreement to every family member in the group chat. Cold, maybe, but I was done being played. The next morning, we met at a diner near my place. Chloe looked like she hadn't slept either. I slid the papers across the table. She read them, her hands trembling, then signed without a word. I wired the money right there, in front of her. She didn't thank me, just folded the agreement and left. The graduation happened the next day. I didn't go. Jenna sent me a photo of Chloe in her cap and gown, looking tired but relieved. No one posted about it online, not even Chloe. It was like they wanted to pretend the last 2 weeks never happened. A week later, I got an email invite to a graduation celebration dinner at a local steakhouse. No mention of the drama, just a generic note about celebrating Chloe's next chapter. I RSVP'd no but decided to send a gift. I had it delivered to the restaurant, right before the dinner started. It was a graduation cap, black, standard issue, wrapped in silver paper with a gold ribbon. Taped inside was a single sheet of paper, a bill, itemizing every tuition payment I'd made over 4 years, totaling $240,000. At the bottom, I'd written in red ink, paid in full. Congratulations, Chloe. I wasn't there to see them open it, but I didn't need to be. By 8 p.m, my phone was buzzing. Jenna texted, "Dude, that was savage." Chloe's best friend sent a cry-laughing emoji. My cousin Brian DM'd me, "Iconic move, man." Apparently, Rachel had opened the gift, thinking it was a sweet gesture, and froze when she saw the bill. The table went silent. Someone, Jenna wouldn't say who, filmed it. The video never went public, but it circulated in family texts like contraband. Chloe didn't say a word about it, but she didn't have to. Everyone knew. Chloe started making payments 5 months later, right on schedule. $312.47, direct deposit, every 15th of the month. No notes, no apologies, just the money. Rachel and Mark went quiet. No calls, no texts, not even a Christmas card. It was like I'd been erased from their version of the family. That was fine. I didn't need their validation anymore. What I didn't expect was how the rest of the family reacted. Cousins I hadn't talked to in years started reaching out. Random likes on my posts, a "how you doing?" text from Aunt Karen. They didn't say it outright, but I could tell they were on my side. The cap, the bill, it had become a legend. 6 months after graduation, Chloe posted another TikTok. No tears this time, just her at a coffee shop, talking about learning hard lessons and owning your mistakes. The comments were kinder, but someone still wrote, "Hope you thanked your uncle." She didn't reply. I didn't care. The payments kept coming, and that was enough. The family still talks about the cap, though. At a cousin's wedding last month, someone I barely knew leaned over and whispered, "You're the cap guy, right?" That was badass. I just smiled. Chloe's got 3 years left on the loan. She doesn't miss a payment, and I don't expect her to. The money's not the point anymore. It's the memory, the one they can't ignore, the one that sits in their group chat, their dinner tables, their quiet moments. They thought I'd roll over, that I'd keep paying to keep the peace. They thought wrong. I kept the receipts, and they're still unpacking that cap.